Everyone carries something that makes them different. For some, it's a gift. For others, it feels like a flaw to be hidden. But living truthfully, being who you really are, often takes more courage than facing the entire world. Sometimes, a single mocking laugh can cut deeper than any wound. Sometimes, silence can make you lose yourself completely. This is the story of Lucas, a high school basketball player from Boston who had a strange little habit, one that made him stand out and later made him the target of his own teammates' jokes. But through pain, shame, and doubt, he learned one of life's truest lessons. No one ever truly wins by hiding who they are. Lucas was the star guard of Lincoln High's basketball team. Fast, sharp, and loved by the crowd. But he had one odd habit. Before every game, he wore mismatched shoes, one black, one red. He said it helped him balance, black for focus, red for passion. Before stepping on court, he'd draw a small star on his wrist with a marker, take a deep breath, spin the ball 3 times, and whisper to himself, "Play with all your heart." To him, it was grounding, a ritual that calmed his nerves. To everyone else, it was weird. "Look who's here, Mr. Lucky Shoes," Ryan, the captain, yelled one day in the locker room. "Careful, he's drawing his magic star again." Another teammate laughed. The whole room burst into laughter. Lucas smiled weakly, trying to hide his wrist. Soon, the teasing got worse. Someone hid his red shoe, others switched them around as a prank. One day, they even drew a fake star on his arm in red marker, laughing hysterically. Lucas said nothing. He just wiped it off, put on his shoes, and walked out to play. But inside, something fragile began to break. Lincoln kept winning. Lucas kept shining. On the surface, everything looked perfect. But Lucas felt emptier after each victory. Ever since he stopped wearing the mismatched shoes, he hadn't felt the same. He'd bought 2 identical pairs, clean and plain. The old red and black ones lay hidden under his bed, like a secret he was ashamed of. One night, he took them out and stared at them under the dim light. They were scuffed and faded, but they felt alive. Just then, his phone buzzed. "Ryan, don't wear those clown shoes again, man. Someone recorded it last time. It's embarrassing." Lucas stared at the screen, his chest tightening. For the first time, he hated himself. Not for being different, but for being too afraid to stay that way. Coach Miller noticed the change. "You seem tense, son," he said one afternoon. "I'm fine." "You keep saying that, but your eyes say otherwise. Winning shouldn't make you look this sad." Lucas forced a smile, but he knew the truth. He was losing the part of himself that made him feel alive. The state semifinals arrived. The gym roared with excitement. Lucas laced up his matching black shoes. Ryan gave him an approving nod. "Finally," he said, "you're starting to look normal." The first half went well. Lincoln led the scoreboard, but in the second half, Ryan twisted his ankle and had to sit out. Now the team looked to Lucas. "Lead them," Coach Miller said. Lucas stepped onto the court, ball in hand, but something inside him trembled. He wanted to take a breath, to focus, to feel like himself again, but fear held him back. He missed one shot, then another, then another. The crowd fell silent. Then came the groans, the sighs, the whispers. By the time the buzzer sounded, Lincoln had lost. Badly. In the locker room, no one spoke. Ryan finally threw his towel to the ground. "Told you. That weird stuff just distracts you. You're better off without it." Lucas looked down at his perfect black shoes. They were spotless, and they felt completely empty. That night, he went back to the empty gym. He pulled out his old mismatched shoes, drew a tiny star on his wrist, and spun the ball 3 times. For the first time in months, he could breathe again. The state finals came. Against all odds, Lincoln had made it. Lucas walked into the gym wearing the red and black shoes. The locker room fell silent. Ryan raised an eyebrow, smirking. "You're doing this again?" Lucas met his eyes. "Yeah, because this is who I am." No one laughed. When the game began, Lucas moved with a calm fire. Not angry, not scared, just real. Every pass was sharp. Every shot felt true. The crowd felt it too. They rose to their feet, chanting his name. With 10 seconds left, Lincoln was down by 2. Lucas caught the ball, dribbled once, leaped, and released. The ball soared high, kissed the backboard, and dropped through the net as the buzzer screamed. The gym exploded. Lincoln had won. Ryan ran over, breathless, and said softly, "You were right. I was wrong. I'm sorry." Lucas smiled, raising his wrist. The tiny star glimmered faintly under the light. "I just played my way, and that made all the difference." At the season's award ceremony, Lucas was named Most Inspirational Player of the Year. He stepped up to the microphone and said, "For a long time, I was afraid of standing out. I thought fitting in was the only way to be accepted. But if you're ashamed of who you are, what's left to be proud of? Courage isn't about never being scared. It's about doing what's right, even when you are." The room was silent for a moment, then erupted in applause. Ryan stood up first, clapping the loudest. Under the soft lights of the gym, Lucas looked down at his mismatched shoes and smiled. This time, no one laughed. There was only respect and the quiet pride of being truly, unapologetically himself. Everyone has something that sets them apart. Yet, too often, we waste years trying to hide it, trying to blend in, when what the world really needs is our truth. Lucas's story reminds us that being different isn't a weakness. It's proof of courage. The moment you stop fearing how others see you, you begin to shine in your own light. Because when you dare to be yourself, you don't just win the game, you win your freedom.